Welcome back to Honestback TV. We really appreciate your time for being with us here. For this time, I am going to share you an inspiring life story titled Carl's Garden. And before starting, I want to remind you that your subscription to our channel is very important for us. Therefore, you can do it if you did not do it before or if you are new here. I also want to remind you that the meaning of all words highlighted in red color is shown after the story. Let's begin. Carl's Garden. Carl was a quiet man. He did not talk much. He would always greet you with a big smile and a firm handshake. Even after living in our neighborhood for over 50 years, no one could really say they knew him very well. Before his retirement, he took the bus to work each morning. The lone sight of him walking down the street often worried us. He had a slight limp from a bullet wound received in the Second World War. Watching him, we worried that although he had survived the Second World War, he may not make it through our changing uptown neighborhood with its ever-increasing random violence, gangs, and drug activity. When he saw the flyer at our local church asking for volunteers for caring for the gardens behind the minister's residence, he responded in his characteristically unassuming manner. Without fanfare, he just signed up. He was well into his 87th year when the very thing we had always feared finally happened. He was just finishing his watering for the day when 3 gang members approached him. Ignoring their attempt to intimidate him, he simply asked, "Would you like a drink from the hose?" The tallest and toughest looking of the 3 said, "Yeah, sure," with a malevolent little smile. As Carl offered the hose to him, the other 2 grabbed Carl's arm, throwing him down. As the hose snaked crazily over the ground, dousing everything in its way, Carl's assailants stole his retirement watch and his wallet and then fled. Carl tried to get himself up, but he had been thrown down on his bad leg. He lay there trying to gather himself as the minister came running to help him. Although the minister had witnessed the attack from his window, he could not get there fast enough to stop it. "Carl, are you okay? Are you hurt?" The minister kept asking as he helped Carl to his feet. Carl just passed a hand over his brow and sighed, shaking his head. "Just some punk kids. I hope they will wise up someday." His wet clothes clung to his right frame as he bent to pick up the hose. He adjusted the nozzle again and started to water. Confused and a little concerned, the minister asked, "Carl, what are you doing?" "I've got to finish my watering. It's been very dry lately," came the calm reply. Satisfying himself that Carl really was alright, the minister could only marvel. Carl was a man from a different time and place. A few weeks later, the 3 returned. Just as before their treat was unchallenged, Carl again offered them a drink from his horse. This time, they did not rob him. They wrenched the hose from his hand and drenched him head to foot in the icy water. When they had finished their humiliation of him, they sauntered off down the street, throwing catcalls and curses, falling over one another, laughing at the hilarity of what they had just done. Carl just watched them. Then he turned toward the unforgiving sun, picked up his horse, and went on with his watering. The summer was quickly fading into fall. Carl was doing some tearing when he was startled by the sudden approach of someone behind him. He stumbled and fell into some evergreen branches. As he struggled to regain his footing, he turned to see the tall leader of his summer tormentors reaching down for him. He braced himself for the expected attack. "Don't worry, old man. I'm not going to hurt you this time." The young man spoke softly, still offering the tattered and scarred hand to Carl. As he helped Carl get up, the man pulled a crumpled bag from his pocket and handed it to Carl. "What is this?" Carl asked. "It's your stuff," the man explained. "It's your stuff bag, even the money in your wallet." "I don't understand," Carl said. "Why would you help me now?" The man shifted his feet, seeming embarrassed and ill at ease. "I learned something from you," he said. "I learned with the gang and had people like you. We picked you because you were old and we knew we could do it. But every time we came and did something to you, instead of yelling and fighting back, you tried to give us a drink. You did not hate us from hating you. You kept showing love against our head." He stopped for a moment. "I could not sleep after we saw your stuff, so here it is back." He paused for another awkward moment, not knowing what more there was to say. "That bag is my way of saying thanks for strengthening me out, I guess." And with that, he walked off down the street. Carl looked down at the sack in his hands and gingerly opened it. He took out his retirement watch and put it back on his wrist. Opening his wallet, he checked for his wedding photo. He gazed for a moment at the young bride who still smiled back at him from all those years ago. He died one day after Christmas that winter. Many people attended his funeral in spite of the weather. In particular, the minister noticed a tall young man who he did not know sitting quietly in a distant corner of the church. The minister spoke of Carl's garden as a reason in life. In a voice made thick with unshed tears, he said, "Do your best and make your garden as beautiful as you can. We will never forget Carl and his garden." The following spring, another flyer went up. It read, "Person needed to care for Carl's garden." The flyer went unnoticed by the busy parishioners until one day when a knock was heard at the minister's office door. Opening the door, the minister saw a pair of scarred and tattered hands holding the flyer. "I believe this is my job, if you will help me," the young man said. The minister recognized him as the same young man who had returned the stolen watch and wallet to Carl. He knew that Carl's kindness had turned this man's life around. As the minister handed him the keys to the garden shed, he said, "Yes, go. Take care of Carl's garden and honor him." The man went to work, and over the next several years, he tended the flowers and vegetables just as Carl had done. In that time, he went to college, got married, and became a prominent member of the community. But he never forgot his promise to Carl's memory and kept the garden as beautiful as he thought Carl would have kept it. One day, he approached the new minister and told him that he could not care for the garden any longer. He explained with a shy and happy smile, "My wife's just had a baby boy last night, and she's bringing him home on Saturdays." "Well, congratulations," said the minister as he was handed the garden shed keys. "That's wonderful. What's the baby's name?" "Carl," he replied. That's the Holy Gospel message simply stated. The story ends here, and let's continue by explaining the highlighted words. The first word is limp. This is from verb to limp and means to walk slowly and with difficulty because of having an injured or painful leg or foot. Bullet. It is a small metal object that is shot from a gun. Uptown. In or towards the northeast part of a city or town. Gangs. This is a group of criminals who work together. Unassuming. Someone who is unassuming is quiet and shows no wish for attention or admiration. Unfair. A lot of talk or activity showing that people are excited about something. Intimidate. To frighten or threaten someone, usually in order to persuade them to do something that you want them to do. Hose. a long plastic or rubber pipe that liquids or gases can flow through. Malevolent, having or showing a desire to cause harm to another person. Grabbed, from verb to grab, which is to take hold of something or someone suddenly and roughly. Snaked, from verb to snake, which is to move like a snake, to follow a twisting path with many turns. Dousing, to make something or someone wet by throwing a lot of liquid over them. Assailant, a person who attacks another person. Fled, from a verb to flee, which is to escape by running away, especially because of danger or fear. Blow, this is the forehead. Sighed, from a verb to sigh, which is to breathe out slowly and noisily, expressing tiredness, sadness, pressure, etc. Punk, a young man who fights and is involved in criminal activities. Wise up, to start to understand a situation or fact and believe what you hear about it, even if it is difficult or unpleasant. Clang, from a verb to cling, which is to stick onto or hold something or someone tightly, or to refuse to stop holding them. Nozzle, a narrow piece fixed to the end of a tube so that the liquid or air that comes out can be directed in a particular way. Marvel, to show or experience great surprise or admiration. Lob, to take money or property illegally from a place, organization, or a person, often using violence. Wrenched, from a verb to wrench, which is to pull and twist something suddenly or violently away from a fixed position. Wrenched, from a verb to drench, it is to make someone or something extremely wet. Ice, extremely cold. Humiliation, from a verb to humiliate, this is to make someone feel ashamed or lose their respect for themselves. Sauntered, from a verb to saunter, this is to walk in a slow and relaxed way, often in no particular direction. Catcalls, a loud shout expressing disapproval, especially made by people in a crowd. Curses, magic words which are intended to bring bad luck to someone. Hilarity, when people laugh very loudly and think something is very funny. Fading, to cause to lose color, brightness or strength gradually. Curing, this is an act of preparing a piece of land for growing crops. Started, from a verb to startle, which is to move or jump suddenly because something surprises you or frightens you. Stumbled, from a verb to stumble, which is to hit your foot or something when you are walking or running so that you fall or almost fall. Evergreen, a plant, bush or tree which has leaves for the whole year. Footing, when you are standing firmly on a slope or other dangerous surface. Tormentor, someone who torments, to cause a person or animal to suffer or worry. Braced, from a verb to brace, which is to prepare yourself physically or mentally for something unpleasant. Cramped, full of furs. Embarrassed, feeling ashamed or shy. Is, to make or become less severe, difficult, unpleasant, painful, etc. Yelling, from verb to yell, this is to shout something or make loud noise, usually when you are angry, in pain, or excited. Awkward, causing problems, worry, or embarrassment. Sack, a large bag made of strong cloth, paper, or plastic used to store a large amount of something. Gingerly, in a way that is careful or cautious. Gazed, from a verb to gaze, this is to look at something or someone for a long time, especially in surprise, admiration, or because you are thinking about something else. Funeral, a ceremony for burying or burning the body of a dead person. parishioner, a member of particular parish under the care of a priest, especially one who often goes to its church. Tended, from a verb to tend, which is to care for something or someone. Prominent, very well known and important. Thank you for being with us. Stay safe. See you next time. Bye bye.